Hey everyone! So this is my very first YouTube video, maybe of more, I guess we'll see how it goes. I'm a little bit nervous, so bear with me. And yeah, so I just wanted to first start off by personally thanking everybody for being so supportive, not just this week, which has obviously been a big week for me, but also like throughout the past year. You guys have just been amazing people who I have grown to call many of you friends, and it's just been such an adventure. And I just want to thank you all for just being you, and I learned so much from you, and you guys always make me laugh and think and just, yeah, so thank you. Yeah, so a week ago or so, I asked you guys to start submitting questions for a question and answer video. So you guys could just like get a feel out. I guess I just wanted this to be my first video. And you guys asked a lot. So I narrowed it down to 15 because I figured that was as much as we could get through that people would actually watch this, potentially. So if I don't answer your question, I am so sorry. I will answer it online at some point when I have some time. I mushed a few questions together so I could kind of cover everything. Yeah, so there's a little bit of everything in here, politics, personal, and some weird ones as well. So we should get started. All right, the first one is like basic stuff. Favorite foods, favorite movies, favorite presidents, where I'm from, where I like to shop, what I like to read, and what I like to do. I swear that's like an entire thing on its own. Favorite foods, Mexican, Thai, and Indian. Anything spicy. Can be bribed to do pretty much anything with a taco. Favorite movies, top 5. Perks of Being a Wallflower, Pride and Prejudice, Harry Potter 1 through 8. I'm counting that as 1. The Damned United, watch that. It's a football/soccer movie and it's super awesome, and go and watch it. And, oh my gosh, I'm having a mind blank. Law-abiding citizen. There we go. Don't watch the last one right before bed because it'll give you the spooks if you're squeamish. Favorite presidents? Really, guys? Like 5 of you asked this. Reagan and Coolidge, easy answer. Where I'm from, New Hampshire, born and raised. Where I like to shop, pretty much anywhere. Online, in person, literally shop all the time for most people who know that. Hobbies, I like to read. I like to swim, spend time with animals, spend time with family. Politics is a hobby for me. Yeah. College major. Oh, favorite books. I like Harry Potter, obviously, grew up with that. Pride and Prejudice. I can't think of any others. The Bible, obviously. Pretty much read anything that's around. I am a huge sucker for like crappy love stories. The ones that you know how they're going to end before they start. I just like them because they make me happy. So yeah. College major. I am a nursing major. Who do I think will run as Hillary's VP? I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't think the Democrats have any idea. The problem with the Democrats right now is they've got Hillary, and she's pretty much, they're set on her, which is worrying. Republicans right now, 2 years out, we have a few options. So they kind of have to sort of be on like their best behavior for the next few years. Obviously because we've got other options, and if they want to run, they need to be at their prime and on point all the time. Just because we've got so many options. So that's nice. But Democrats, yeah, no. So I think that's going to be huge over the next few years to figure out. Books or resources about Ronald Reagan. I have never read a bad Ronald Reagan book. I've never finished the book and said, wow, that was awful, I wish I didn't read it. So because of that, I couldn't narrow it down. Just honestly, just go on Amazon, go online, read stuff. I mean, there's just stuff everywhere. I mean, he was just such an incredible man. There's stuff everywhere. Go to your local library. Yeah. If anybody has a favorite Ronald Reagan book, like outstanding Ronald Reagan book, then, or resource online or whatever, comment down below and help somebody out. Do I think it should be legal to torture terrorists for information? Yes, I do. Once you terrorize the United States or one of our allies, you lose the right to comfort in your life. Therefore, if you have been tortured for weeks or months at a time, I couldn't care less if one day you give up information that could save one life. At that point, it's worth it for me. That is what it is. If you don't want that, don't terrorize the U.S. or one of our allies. I think that's a pretty simple concept. It is what it is. What do I think of the individual mandate? I am not a fan, obviously. I think I made that pretty clear. I think it was made with good intentions. But it is a flawed system that was rushed to be created. I think it was rushed to be implemented, and it cracks in the foundation. So it's just a mess. Okay. Would I go on one of those dunk tank things? This was the... Sure, I guess. I like to swim, as I said. So, like, sure. They always say I'm a water baby, so I guess so. I mean, set one up and I guess I'll be there. I don't know. What state do I see myself living in? Ideally the South. Obviously there are one law in particular that I am waiting for that to be passed before I think I'd settle there permanently. Obviously I want a family, and so yes, I'm just waiting for the gay marriage laws to be passed. If not, if I had to stay up in the North, if nowhere else in the U.S. passes another gay marriage law, I guess probably the U.S. state of, there we go, fixed it, New Hampshire. I like it in New Hampshire. I know I give it a lot of slack, but it is nice, and it's especially nice around like election time when like all of the candidates are here and you just meet everyone and they're just always around, and I think that's really cool. It's a nice little New Hampshire perk. I'd love to live in Alaska, but only for like the 6 months of the year where it's like sort of warm. I couldn't live there when it's like winter all the time, so maybe like, yeah, okay. Favorite thing about living in New Hampshire? Probably the politicians thing. Like the foliage in the winter. It's a really friendly state. People are really nice. Its proximity to Boston. I love Boston. Do you want to know some fun facts about New Hampshire? Okay, I'll try and list some off the top of my head. We have 14 miles of coastline. We consume the most alcohol out of any other state in the nation, consume more ice cream than any other state in the nation, have the most vanity plates than any other state in the nation, and fifth one, Alan Shepard. I think he was like the first guy in space. I think so. I'm always bad with my astronauts, but I think he was the first one in space. He's from New Hampshire, so that's pretty cool. Also, Robert Frost, one of my favorite poets. So that was 6 fun facts about New Hampshire. If I could live in a different era, which era would it be? Okay. Probably like the 1700s, if I was wealthy in England. Late 1600s, 1700s. Also, yeah, I just love that time period. Another one, like the 20s. I think that would be a fun time to live in, obviously. How do I feel about gay marriage? This was asked a few days ago. I don't think I took it off the sheet since I made this. Obviously, I am a supporter. My thing about gay marriage has always been that I support taking the term marriage out of government and giving all couples being defined as 2 consenting adults. So I support giving any couple with that definition the same legal rights if they so choose to get what we call now married. But I support taking that term out of marriage. which is very Ron Paul view at marriage and gay marriage in particular. But as that doesn't seem to be a mainstream way of doing it, I guess, we're passing it as it is. Obviously I support it. Maybe the Ron Paul thing will happen in the South, where obviously it's a bit more of a testy subject. So we'll see over the next few years kind of how this plays out. What college will I attend this fall? I know I had planned to move to North Carolina in the fall. There were a lot of things going on in my life where that just didn't make sense to do in the fall. I only just in the past few weeks settled on a college major, like really settled on one, and I've been back and forth for years. I think I changed my major 4 times officially in the past calendar year, and but way more than that unofficially. So for me to settle on a major, I just want to stay home for a year, be absolutely positive of it, finish up my gen eds before I transfer to a 4-year university and finish out my degree. That just makes sense money-wise and personal-wise. I get to spend another year at home with my parents after being away from home for basically 2 years. So get to stay with my puppy and my cats, and I'm really excited. What do I think of the war on coal and the fracking industry? Okay, the war on coal, I'm going to be honest, I don't know much about it. It's not geographically, I don't want to say relevant to my area, but like we don't have the coal industry as much up here, if at all. See, I don't really know. The only thing I'll say on the coal industry is that if we are taking steps to move away from the coal energy business, then that's fine. That's okay. But we can't just leave those millions of workers without a new industry. So wherever the coal industry is such a major player, as coal moves out, we have to move another industry in, because we can't just leave all those workers without jobs. That's just not okay. And the fracking industry. Okay, so I've mentioned this a few times in passing. I don't tweet about it very much. It's like my personal little like thing to myself, but the fracking industry for me is like what I geek out over. So like if I don't want to like read my novels, or oh my gosh, my laptop locked me out. Okay. If I don't want to read my novels or watch Netflix or whatever, then I will just sit and like read about fracking, and I think it is just the most interesting thing ever. It's just yeah, I could just read about it for hours. There's just so much going on with it right now, and it's just completely changing the country, and I don't think it gets enough attention by mainstream media on how much it's affecting our country, but it is, and it's very important as we go forward that people start paying attention to it. What do I think of the fracking industry? I totally support fracking. I do, but there are regulations that need to be put in place. Mainly making it legal for companies to publish what is in their fracking fluid, as people are pretty much positive that they are using known carcinogens and pumping thousands and thousands of gallons of known carcinogens into the ground, some cases 100 yards from a residential house. Obviously it'd be a residential house or residence. That would just, okay, whatever. It's Wednesday. Bear with me. So yeah. And that house could have children or the elderly, people who are really susceptible, even, you know, like healthy adults. I mean, like, it doesn't matter when you're pumping that much chemicals into the ground and contaminating their land and their water supply. It doesn't matter how healthy you are. Everyone's just going to get affected. So I think that's important as we make steps forward. I just can't process that that's not already law, but I guess that's the world we live in, and they're a big business for the country, and nobody wants to limit them, but I think it's our responsibility to do so, especially as companies can come in and basically just take over your land. It's just, there's no justice in that, you know, and then people can't sell their land, so they're stuck on their land getting sick, and just basically prisoners in their own homes. Maybe I'll do a post about that at some point. Maybe I have already. I don't know. I've definitely written a lot of articles for school about it. So maybe I'll post some of those. If people are interested, I guess, comment below. Let me know, or else I'll just keep geeking out in my own time. How can I be pro-life and pro-death penalty? All right, both are protecting the innocent. So protecting the innocent in the womb, that's pretty obvious, but also protecting the innocent victims. If someone is sentenced to death in the country, that means they've done something heinous. Serial murderers, serial rapists, just all around, just violent, awful people. And these people have obviously no remorse about what they do. I guess it's hard to describe. The threat of them escaping or them coordinating a plot to further hurt their victims, people who testified against them, or hurting other guards or other prisoners. These are all just risks that just aren't worth it. But I've said before, and I'll say it again, I am a huge advocate for saying that our entire prison system and our judicial system need to be overworked. The way they're working currently is just not effective, and eventually they will just collapse under the weight of the fact that they are just so overrun and just so poorly run. Something's just got to change. So yes, I'm pro-death penalty, but obviously, I don't want to just kill everyone. We're not talking petty thieves here. We're talking people that have done awful things and, terrible things and things that keep parents up at night. So, yeah. Last question. Do I think conservatism needs to change in America before it gains traction? Yes and no. No, conservatism is a concept that knows no bounds of change. Okay, so conservatism is an idea. Saying that conservatism needs to change, I wouldn't say it like that. I would say that the Republican Party needs to change how they use conservatism. Does that make sense? Maybe I'll explain a little bit. The Republican Party right now, it's got some problems. The Democratic Party does too, both parties do, and the problem with the two-party system, but the Republican Party is in a time of change, and that's healthy. With any political party or movement, you need to have a time of change and readdressing where you stand on things. Obviously, there are some social issues that are holding the Republican Party back, and the Republican Party needs to decide if in the future they want to hold so tightly onto those social issues that they currently are. And if they do, then that probably will hurt them going into the future. But if they decide that they've addressed the growing change within the nation towards viewpoints such as gay marriage and weed legalization, then they might begin to gain back a lot of people. I like to believe that conservatism is the movement that just makes sense. Democrats run on social issues. If you take away their right to use gay marriage or their ability to use gay marriage against you, using weed legalization against you, against using the fact that you want to make victims of rape have their children instead of being able to abort them, these are all things that are hurting the party because liberals can use them against us so much, and they draw a lot of easy votes away from us. So it's just sort of like figuring out where we want to hold our ground and where we want to move forward. Economically, and on foreign policy. I think conservatism makes sense and makes sense to a lot of people when you explain it, but I don't think a lot of people bother to understand it, and they just know the social issues and that's all they care about. And so those are what a lot of votes are. So you just need to, as a party, just look at ourselves and have a big talk over the next few years to see where we're going. But I think in general we're gaining traction just on the backflow of bad presidencies. And we just really just need a strong conservative candidate who is going to keep people interested and involved in the party. So I guess we'll see as the years go on. So I think that's all the questions. Let me just make sure I got them all. I kind of skipped around a bit. Yeah. So that's all of them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this and my weird rambling on some things. If you have any more questions, feel free to send them through. I think my next video, if this one goes down all right, will be on the wage gap. I know I talk about it a lot, but it seems to still be an issue, and it is something I am passionate about disproving and talking about, especially coming into the elections, just raising awareness of what the wage gap really is. So look out for that, and definitely comment below or send me a tweet if you enjoyed this, or if there's anything else you want to know, or whatever. Or if you just have some video ideas for the future, go ahead and send me those too. And I hope you guys all have a good day, and God bless. And yeah.